Peace and love, family. It is your girl, Six the Goddess. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shift. So I just wanted to drop a quick video today. This video has been highly requested from the ladies of why can't I get a date? It seems like I'm always repelling men. It seems like, I meet somebody and then before I know it, it just kind of falls off. So today we're going to be talking about how women annoy men. Okay. Whenever I see a young lady come with that kind of story, like, I'll be talking to somebody and then, before I know it, I'm like, I probably know the issue. You're probably annoying. Okay. Ladies, we are more annoying to men sometimes than we know. And because men have the natural instinct to protect us, that also means protecting our feelings. So a lot of the times they're not really honest about some of your behaviors and how it affects them. Men are not wired to just be like, hey, you're doing this and it's hella annoying. Can you stop? They're not really wired that way. So we have to kind of learn how to read between the lines and just be very cognizant of what we're doing and how they interpret it. Because remember, as men and women, we value different things, we think differently, we communicate differently. So it's important for us to kind of put ourselves in their mindset so you can be more aware of how you look from the outside looking in. Okay, so this is the number one way that ladies annoy men. Number one is you talk too much. You talk too much. I have seen women do this countless times and it makes me cringe because this is why it's important to have good girlfriends. When you're with your girlfriends, that is the time to chatty Cathy, okay? We can sit and talk until the cows come home. That is what your girlfriend time is for. When you are dealing with a man, there's a time and a place for everything. Okay, there'll be certain times where you're having certain dialogue where you'll want to talk a lot and y'all are talking back and forth. But the issue is when there are some women who just have an issue with silence. Like if there's silence, you feel the need to fill that silence. And sometimes men don't want to talk. See, in our minds as women, our brains are always computing something, always doing something. Men genuinely can sit there and literally not be thinking of anything. And if you are the woman that is constantly, it's kind of like you're overstimulating them. It's kind of like you're overstimulating them and they just kind of want to sit and be a man and not think about anything. And you're just like, so anyway, and then I, especially in the beginning stages of meeting a man and getting with a man, you really want him to do most of the talking, okay? You want him to do most of the talking. You want to figure out, where he's coming from, what his interests are, so that you can start figuring out if you can complement his life. But when you're doing all the talking, it's kind of masculine because essentially it's you taking the lead. So especially in the beginning, if in the beginning you're not really listening to him and you're just Lord, it's going to push him away. And he's not going to say, hey, shut up, you're annoying. He's just going to slowly back away. Second thing that women do wrong that annoys men is you do too much. Now, if we're talking about masculine men here, masculine men naturally have the desire to want to be the authority, take the lead. Masculine men tend to be very strict on their image, on how they're portrayed in the public. So if you're the type of woman that just do too much to where you could potentially be embarrassing, that's going to repel them as well. When you're out and about, you don't want to be over dancing, overdoing it, showing out. It's embarrassing. It's not cool. He doesn't find it attractive. They actually find that annoying, and it's going to make them afraid to want to bring you places because they don't know what the hell you're going to do. So again, there's a time and a place for everything. Sometimes you all may be at a certain party or venue where you both are just cutting a rug, having a good time, but it's very important to be aware of the environment that you're in with him so that you can be cognizant on how you need to behave. Do too much, okay? Doing too much can even mean doing too much for him. Most masculine men don't really like you as a woman to come on too strong. Some of you just meet the man and before you know it, you're like, I planned our wedding and I planned our baby shower and I made you dinner and I made it. And in your mind, you might think, oh, he likes it. I'm doing all this. But If he did not ask for that, or if he has not let you know that you're on that level, you just want to chill. Do not do too much. Just relax, okay? Silence cannot be misinterpreted. Lack of action cannot be misinterpreted. But once you go to talking and doing too much, you can't take that back. So when in doubt, ladies, on your feminine journey, on working towards being more in your feminine energy, just try not saying or doing anything. Just look pretty and be quiet for a second. Let things play out. The next thing that annoys men is you're overly needy. Boy, if I have said this once, I have said this twice. Ladies, you got to have you some business. You got to have you something to do. If you do not have you something to do that is genuinely fulfilling to you, you begin to turn into an FBI agent and a babysitter. And if you don't have your own business to handle, before you know it, you are stalking him, overly in his business, overly, you have no one else to hang out with, nothing else to do. And before you know it, you've put all this pressure on him to just be your everything in the beginning. Okay? And for a lot of men, that will be annoying. Again, they're not going to tell you. It's very important, ladies, to remember that there are certain things that they're not going to say. I think sometimes we expect for them to just come straight out and be like, hey, I don't like this or that, but it doesn't work that way. So it's very important to pay attention. You cannot be needy, all right? Even if you are getting to know someone or you're in a relationship, you have to keep in mind that although you are working on a union together or in a union together, that you both are still your own people. Okay, and a lot of times the men get annoyed when they feel as though their individuality is being attacked. So you want to have a healthy balance. Yes, you want to spend time together. Yes, you want to have conversations to get to know each other, but you do not want it to be the extent to where you're like smothering. Okay. The next thing that annoys men is when you're a know-it-all and unteachable. This is a big one. I've seen so many times women interacting with men and the men say something. Now she got to one-up him. Oh, well, you did that. Oh, well, I ain't saying, and honestly, that's annoying. Okay. Men are very competitive in their everyday lives amongst each other. So it will be annoying to him if he has to get with you and begin to compete for who knows more or who's the biggest know-it-all, who can, one-up the next. Okay. Again, when you want to show off all your intelligence and do all that, that's girlfriend's time. When you're with a man, you want to be teachable. He wants to know that you're teachable. He wants to be able to show you things. Okay? It cannot be that he feels strange, teaching you something or telling you something because he's afraid you're going to be like, oh yeah, I know about that. And how about this? And you ain't got to do all that. Don't be in your competitive energy. The next thing that annoys men is when you do not pick and choose your battles. Every little thing does not have to be a confrontation. Okay? Every little thing does not have to be a conflict. When you as a woman battle on every little thing, it makes it difficult for when there's a situation come up that really is a big deal for you. When there's something that comes up that really is major, it makes it very difficult for the man to respect it because in his mind, you're tripping about every little thing. And it can become exhausting. Remember, we hold the higher emotional intelligence, okay? For us, we can discuss a conflict and discuss the emotions and everything behind it, and it's not exhausting for us because that is our strong point. But remember that for the man, that is not their strong point. All that sorting out emotions and discussing emotions can be very draining on him. So when you are constantly picking conflict at everything, even when it's not that big a deal, it will annoy him and he will once again start to fade off. This is the next thing that annoys men is you go to him, and this kind of ties into what we just said. You go to him to discuss emotions instead of solutions. So I think that discussing your feelings is cool to a certain extent with your man, but most masculine men, their minds are solution oriented. When they hear information, they are looking to compute a solution to the problem. So when you're coming to him just to kind of talk about your feelings and you're not really looking for a solution, it can make him kind of feel like, what do I do here? I don't know what to do. She's always coming to me talking to her feelings. When I try to give her an answer to the problem, she tells me she don't want to answer. She just want to talk. Again, ladies, delegating what you need in your relationship to people in your life. This is for girlfriends time. Girlfriends time, we can discuss our feelings. I tell you how I feel. You tell me how you feel. And we're all just talking about our feelings as women. With your man, go to him when you want a solution to the problem. You can talk about a few feelings here and there, but it should not be excessive. Again, if you are constantly bombarding him with talking about your feelings, you guessed it, he's going to eventually fade off. Well, I just don't know what the problem is. I meet these guys and it seems all good, and then before I know it, that's why. Okay? They don't know. When men don't know what to do, they just leave. When they don't know how to handle it, they just go. Again, they are not good at computing and speaking, saying, okay, you did this action, it made me feel this way, and this and third. They don't move like that. So it makes them just kind of exit stage left. The last thing that is annoying to men, and this kind of goes into what we said before, is he is scared you will embarrass him. I cannot stress this enough. I just see it so many times, ladies carrying on in a way, and you can tell the man is clearly mortified and embarrassed. He has to be able to trust you. He has to be able to know, okay, I could take her here or do this and that, and we're going to be good. If he feels like, you know, you are going to embarrass him, again, he's just going to kind of exit stage left. So ladies, it's very important to really fall in love with and enjoy being in your feminine energy. The main thing that annoys them and repels them, like I said, is just overdoing it. So ladies, learn how to chill. Learn how to understand. Y'all expect these men to come to you and say, hey, I feel like this and I feel like that. It doesn't work that way. So ladies, be more cognizant of everything. I hope that these tips and tricks helped, and you all see you in the next video.